Hi everyone, I'm Amanda L, and today we are doing a full body flow with the yoga wheel. So if you don't have a yoga wheel, I have tons of other practices on my channel that you can go check out and practice with me, because you will definitely need a yoga wheel for today's practice. So grab your wheel, grab your mat, and let's get started right away in a nice easy seat. So you can just set your wheel at what will be the back of the mat. And coming into your seat, closing your eyes, just grounding for a moment. Finding your breath where it's at and just noticing how it feels, how it's moving, your body, your energy, your mental space. And then elongating it, so slowing it down. So often we move so quickly through our days and our lives. When we slow down, we can sensitize and feel the life experience that much more. Our breath can be and is a guide for just that. Taking a big inhale and a long exhale. And opening your eyes, bring your yoga wheel up and your back against it. Soles of the feet pressing into the mat. Finding a place that feels like a nice stretch, but nothing too crazy since we're just starting out. And then allowing yourself to land. Maybe interlacing your hands back behind your head. Opening your heart up to the sky. Opening your heart to receive, to surrender. How is your breath? And then starting to rock and roll on the wheel. So lifting your hips up high and just rolling back and forth on your wheel here. Setting your hips back down. Interlacing your hands back behind your head, or maybe grabbing a hold of the wheel with your fingertips. And then easy release. Using your arms to help you come into a nice tall spine. Reaching for the wheel, bringing it to the top of the mat. And then swinging your legs around, coming up onto all fours. Rolling through a few cat-cows, noticing the opening that we just created in such a short period of time. Then placing your elbows on the wheel, palms pressed together. So you're on all fours and you've just lifted up onto the wheel. You're going to sink your hips back like you're coming into a child's pose, feeling a stretch there, palms pressing together, pressing down into the wheel. And you're going to round up to sit, and then pressing out long, maybe lifting your hips high, reaching forward. And then coming back to sit, rounding through the spine, and then rolling it forward. One more time, hips sink back, rounding. And then hips lift, rolling forward. Pausing here. Maybe bending through the elbows, placing them onto the wheel, palms still pressed together, and finding a deeper stretch here. Where is your breath? And then rolling the wheel to the center of the mat, tucking your toes, lifting your hips up and back, downward dog. Finding your downward dog and just landing in stillness. Allowing the only movement that comes from your body to be the movement of your breath. Inhale's lifting you, and exhale softening you deeper in. Rounding out into a plank pose. Wheel is between your legs. And then, can you place your legs on the wheel and balance there? If you can't do both legs, do one. Breathing and holding here. If you have one leg on the wheel, switch to the opposite leg. Bending through your knees, rounding your knees toward your elbows. And then pressing back. If you just have one leg on the wheel, doing it with the leg that's on the wheel. Bending your knees to your elbows. And pressing back. Bending your knees to your elbows. Shifting back. Switching legs. If you just have one leg up. And 3 more times. Knees to elbow. Pressing back. Shifting forward. Rolling back. One more time forward. And taking it back. Coming off of the wheel. Dropping your knees down. Bringing the wheel to the top of the mat. Pressing firmly down with your palms into the wheel as you come into a child's pose. Maybe your head comes between your arms closer to the mat. Rounding up and coming into a downward dog, wheel between you. This time lining up the wheel with the right shin. So supporting the right shin with the wheel. And then finding your plank once more. From here, keeping that right leg on the wheel as you bring your left foot to the outer edge of the left hand. Pausing here. You can rock back and forth with that right leg. And then dropping the right knee down, keeping the foot attached to the wheel, the shin attached to the wheel. Pressing up into a low lunge, back knee bent. Big inhale, arms reach high. Easy exhale, soften in. Bending through the right elbow, grabbing a hold of the elbow with the left hand, tipping up and over slightly towards the left to intensify the stretch. Unwinding through the upper body, planting the fingertips down on either side of that left leg, lifting the right knee high, rocking back and forth here. And then just kicking that wheel towards the top of the mat as you find a pyramid pose. And pressing back, downward dog, wheel underneath of you. Finding stillness once more, allowing your breath to be the mover of your body here. How deep can you make your breaths? How much can your body move and shift and work through the subtle things that we sometimes miss by speeding through our days? Lining up the wheel with that right shin, or the left shin. And then rolling into a plank pose, supported left foot, left leg. Pressing firmly down into that wheel as you take the right foot to the top of the mat on the outside of the right hand. Getting my rights and lefts all mixed up. Rocking back and forth here. Left knee drops onto the mat, keeping the foot and the shin attached to the wheel. Pausing for a moment. And then walking your torso up tall, straight like an arrow. Big inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, soften in. Bending through the left elbow, tipping slightly towards the right to intensify the stretch. And your hands find their way back down onto the mat, lifting the back knee, rocking and rolling on that wheel. And giving the wheel just a gentle kick with that left foot as you find a pyramid pose. And pressing back, downward dog. And just sending the wheel to the back of the mat, giving it a nice gentle push with the foot, coming onto all fours, rolling through some cat-cows. And then sitting your hips back, swinging your legs around. Coming into that place where we began. Soles of the feet pressing down into the mat, spine connecting to the wheel, interlacing your fingertips the opposite way as you relax back. It's like you're chilling at the beach. And then rocking and rolling on the wheel here. Maybe playing around with grabbing a hold of the wheel as you rock and roll. Finding a bit of a deep and a different stretch. You want to go a bit further with your heart openers, bringing your hands back behind you, and then lifting up into a wheel pose. Landing back onto that wheel. And bringing it to your lower spine, your lumbar area, your hips, allowing your shoulders to meet the mat. Maybe grabbing a hold of the wheel. It's like a supported bridge pose. You can stay here, or you can lift the legs high, coming into a supported shoulder stand. Feeling the energy of the body rewire its circuit. Bending through the left leg, left ankle on right knee, pulling that whole thing in towards your body. Taking reclined pigeon to a whole other level. And then coming up through center, switching legs, reclined pigeon on the opposite side. Releasing your legs long once more. Grabbing a hold of the wheel wherever you can, and then tipping your legs back behind you, plow pose. Just holding onto that wheel so we have that place to land here in a few moments. Legs lift high once more. wheel supported shoulder stand. And then slowly allowing your legs to drop down, feet meeting the floor once more. Pressing your palms right beside your head as you lift up and roll to the top of the mat. Finding a nice easy seat. Closing your eyes. Using your breath to explore the inner wiring of your body and mind. So often we feel like we need some big, fancy, crazy thing to support our mental, spiritual, physical health. And sometimes we can take it back to basics and just come into our breath and connect in that way. And let it tell us what is needed. Big inhale, arms reach out and up. Palms pressed together at the top, pulling your thumbs into your chest, connecting to your heart. Big inhale up through the nose. Long exhale out the mouth. And opening your eyes whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And let me know in the comments if you have any requests for any future videos. I post a new yoga video on YouTube every single day, so I'm always looking for any requests that you may have. And with that, I will see you next time.